California Spring Trials is Fashion Week for our industry, or maybe you can think of it like the auto show, a chance to see many of the coolest new products available for upcoming seasons. Dozens of global breeding companies and innovative plant introduction companies set up along the California coast in early spring to showcase new crops that have been in development for years, even decades. New series, additions, upgrades, and sometimes brand new plants are grown out and discussed in detail for the better part of a week to drive interest from visiting growers, retailers, and distribution companies. It's also a time to catch up with old friends, solidify strategic partnerships, and revel in the beauty created by our industry. We've done this for decades and we'll do it again in 2026 from March 24th to 27th. Registration is managed by the National Garden Bureau, and you can sign up to secure your spot at caspringtrials.us. In fact, registration is essential. A quick reminder before we get started. New for this year, if you're visiting a location with more than one exhibiting company, like most of them, registration by location means you register for all companies when you schedule your appointment at caspringtrials.us. But be sure to allocate plenty of time for stops with multiple companies. One click doesn't mean one quick visit. Take, for example, the Head Start Nursery Stop or the Santa Barbara Polo Club. You can register for the location, but you'll need to allocate time for all of the exhibiting companies, and that can mean as many as 100 new varieties. Last but not least, check out the suggested itineraries at caspringtrials.us. If 2026 will be your first time visiting the trials, or you haven't been in a few years, they will be very helpful. Let's hear about some of the things you'll see and experience at Spring Trials this year. I'm your host, Bill Calkins, and today, as part of our cast preview mini-series, I'm here with Stephanie Vincenti from FloraPlant to hear what the company has in store for us this March. This will be a quick conversation, but hopefully it inspires you to register and start thinking ahead as you plan your crop mix for the future. Stephanie, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, Bill. I think this might be the first time I was ever invited, so I'm pretty excited.
Well, it's great to have you, and we've certainly talked a lot, and you've been involved in product introduction for a long time with BFP and Selecta, so I think it'll be a great conversation. And every trial site is definitely unique. FloraPlant's known for great product lines and great displays at spring trials. So how would you describe the general vibe of the stop? And we know that you exhibit with a lot of other companies, but where exactly is the location? And if you have a theme for this year that you want to share, now's the time.
It's actually super interesting. I think it's definitely a benefit of ours to be at the Ball Stop in Santa Paula. My companies, FloraPlant and Selecta One, get to exhibit with other companies like Darwin and Pan American Seed and some really cool stuff. So for FloraPlant this year, we're super excited because we're actually going to be introducing 2 entirely new classes for FloraPlant for 2027. So we have a lot of exciting stuff coming. I think there's some really cool additions to our commercials too, but it's not every year you get to introduce 2 entirely new classes, so we're super stoked for that.
Awesome. And I think that one of the things that we talk about is how you can look back a year and see some of the new introductions that were shown at spring trials and then kind of how they played out throughout the year. And when ordering time comes and just general excitement, even up through field trials. So looking back to last year, what was one big hit from the 2025 trials? And you can tackle that however you want. Maybe your favorite, or the one that performed the best for growers, or could be the biggest moneymaker. However you want to approach that.
Oh man, that's a tough one, Bill. I will say it's a combination. I would say one of the biggest hits we got in terms of feedback was definitely the Solera geraniums.
Yep.
We introduced the dark red last year to that new series, which is interspecific impatiens, which is always a big hit because it helps the consumer to be more successful. It lasts a little longer in the gardens. So I would say in terms of feedback, that was one of the biggest things we heard. But then me personally, I really liked the display that we had where we mocked up basically the back of a semi truck. inside the greenhouse
Oh, yeah.
to promote our new geranium farm in Mexico, which allows us to have trucking to the border. So that display was kind of my personal favorite.
It was a cool display, and the corner kind of did look just like a truck backing in. And the
Right.
message is huge. And bringing geraniums from that farm is such a huge improvement for
Absolutely.
growers and makes life
Trucking to
easier
the
and better
border,
quality.
yeah, trucking to the border is just such a game changer so that we can control the cold chain every step of the way. So we're very glad with what we've seen so far out of that farm.
Cool. And then in terms of the marketing and the preparation of plants and the whole overall look and feel of the spring trials stop, I know it takes a team and a long time, but can you tell the listeners a little bit about what it takes for you and the Ball Floor Plant team to put on an event like this? And then really, what are attendees going to gain from visiting the Ball Floor Plant stop?
Oh my goodness, Bill, it is no small undertaking. I will tell you that much. I honestly, I'd say planning for cast starts immediately after or even during the current year's cast. You know, you're taking in what worked as far as displays and messaging and what's really resonating with people. And based on the questions that they ask, we can better understand where their interests are and if we're really giving them the information that they need through some of our displays and our messaging. So really, we start with the little nuggets that we gather that one year, and then we really, really dive into it after we get through the summer, because there's so many other events in the summer, right? And then we delve into it in, I would say, late summer. And we had a plan for our displays, our general layout, and a grow out plan in, I think it was September.
Oh, wow.
Uh-huh. It requires a lot of planning. I mean, it's our biggest grow out, I'd say, of the year, maybe outside of the ball gardens.
Sure.
And we really want to make sure that we're giving the visitors all the tools that they need in order to be successful with some of our new programs. You know, it's easy to say, hey, we want to talk about this. And my job would be a lot easier if that's all we did.
Right?
But that's not the goal at the end of the day. The goal is to really provide solutions and answer questions and give the tools to the people who are visiting our stop.
And I think that folks can be assured that they will get that from the Ball Floor Plant stop because you have a whole team there. You have folks that are experts in the production of the plants, in uh, the marketing wrapped around it, how to position it. There really is a full team on site. So I think that, I mean, I would say that's one of the big benefits that folks have for traveling out to California and going to a stop like FloraPlant, don't you think?
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, for me, the ramp up and the planning and the design and all that is a huge part of what I do, but that's only like half the battle, right?
Mm.
Then you get there, and that's where we have this huge team that, like you said, we've got tech experts, we've got sales staff, we've got product managers, and we're there the whole time just answering questions, walking people through whether it's about things that are on display at our stop or just some other question that
It's
people
true.
need help with. We really try to make sure we have quite a few people there to help with any questions.
It's so true. So true. It's an event like no other. And then the question that I think everybody tunes in for with these episodes is, can you shout out a few of the new varieties that you and the team are most excited to showcase in 2026? Sneak previews, and I know folks like to play things close to the vest, but share as much or as little as you want.
Oh man, let's go with this. We are introducing an entirely new class of pet koa that we are extremely excited for. We've got some great colors, and we've seen some really, really great performance out of these. So we're super excited to launch that. And then just maybe a new class that brings some color to the shade.
Ooh, that's always good. That's always needed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. And the Petcoa thing, I think, is huge. That's a type of plant that's super popular right now, and for all sorts of practical reasons for growers and for home gardeners and landscapers. So that's definitely going to be exciting. I'm psyched. I'm psyched to see what you guys have this year.
I am too. I'm super excited. I think not only the plants that we're going to have there, but some of the solutions, some of the displays. I'm super excited to introduce some of this stuff.
You guys going to show combos this year?
Are you kidding me? Of course we're going to show combos, Bill.
Good.
Combos are close to my heart.
I know.
You know
that
this.
was a leading question.
I know it was. Yeah, we'll always focus on combos, and I can also tell you will be seeing that new Petcoa series and some combos as well.
Excellent. Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing the trial in March. Stephanie, thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Bill.
And now for the listeners, it's time to head over to the National Garden Bureau registration site at caspringtrials.us. You'll find a link in the show notes. Get registered. Bring a bunch of people from your team. If you haven't been to spring trials in a while, this is a great year to attend. Don't forget to subscribe to the Tech on Demand podcast on your favorite app. That way you will never miss an episode.